My name is David Rhodes, and I'm the Chairman of the Reserve Forces and Cadets Association for Yorkshire and the Humber. We have the privilege each year of hosting the Lord Lieutenant Award Ceremony for the East Riding of Yorkshire, which I'm delighted to tell you this evening comes from here in Middleton Barracks in Hull. From the outside, this is a pretty ordinary Army Reserve Centre, about 2 miles away from Hull city centre, but it has been home to the British Army now for more than 100 years. And we're here in this venue to join Her Majesty's Lord Lieutenant of the East Riding of Yorkshire, Mr. Jim Dick, Esquire, in honouring some of the county's truly outstanding volunteers and cadets. Mr. Dick has been chosen by Her Majesty the Queen as her very own representative in the East Riding of Yorkshire. And the awards that he bestows are the highest honours that any citizen can receive, other than those conferred directly by Her Majesty in the New Year and the Birthday Honours lists. This evening, we'll be making awards to cadet adult volunteers and to cadets themselves. We have around 2,500 reservists here in Yorkshire. They serve in local units of the Royal Naval Reserve, the Royal Marine Reserve, the Army Reserve, and the Royal Air Force Reserve. And these reservists combine full-on careers in civilian life with vital roles within the military. If they're mobilised for full-time operational duty, they carry out the same tasks and to the same high standards as their regular counterparts. They also receive the same world-class training and they develop the same skills. All in all, our reservists make up around 14% of the nation's total defence capacity, and they are an essential part of our national defence strategy. Turning to our cadet forces, they are among Britain's oldest youth organisations. They consist of the Sea Cadet Corps, the Army Cadet Force, the Air Training Corps, and the schools-based combined cadet forces. They provide an opportunity for young people to undertake challenging activities and also to gain qualifications such as BTEC and the Duke of Edinburgh Awards. We have over 8,000 cadets and adult volunteer instructors here in Yorkshire and the Humber, and around 200 cadet training centres. Now, to keep all of this going relies, of course, upon the many Cadet Force adult volunteers, and they give up their spare time to manage and train the cadets, and they are the beating heart of the cadet movement. Finally, I'd like to say a few words about our Lord Lieutenant cadets. Each year, we take the opportunity to select 3 cadets, one each from our Sea, Army and Air Cadet Forces, to act as Lord Lieutenant cadets for the forthcoming year. Each cadet will accompany and assist the Lord Lieutenant in his duties over the course of the year, and tonight we'll be hearing from 3 outstanding cadets who've been selected for this duty for the next year. So I think that's quite enough from me. The most important people here this evening are those receiving the awards. So now I'd like to introduce you to Colonel David Fuller, who in turn is going to tell you all about and introduce you to our award recipients this evening. Thank you.
We have some outstanding individuals being recognised this evening, starting with our reservist recipient, Major Robert Marshall of 212 Field Hospital. Major Marshall first joined the reserves in 1982 and has been with either Reserve or Regular Army ever since. When he was assigned to 212 Field Hospital in 2017, he came with a wealth of knowledge, skills and experience that he uses to help train and develop others within the unit. Major Marshall has used his expertise to update important defence healthcare policy to enable the unit to improve its medical readiness. As ward manager, he has huge levels of support from his staff, so that in this year's medical validation exercise, his team were without question the best department. He readily supports unit recruiting and is an active member of the Officers' Mess, where he has improved the way property, including some dating back to the Hallamshire Regiment, is maintained. He is a natural leader who works with drive and energy to complete tasks to the highest level, and that the welfare of those in his charge come first. He has rightly earned the Lord Lieutenant's Award as a mark of the esteem in which he is held. And now we turn to our Cadet Force Adult Volunteer recipients. Susan Coupland, TS Iron Duke, Hull Sea Cadets. Miss Coupland has been an active member of Hull Sea Cadets for 11 years, serving as Treasurer and Secretary. She puts an enormous amount of energy and dedication into her role, working tirelessly to raise the £16,000 needed to keep the unit running every year. She has also been instrumental in raising funds for extra improvements such as installing a new roof, disabled toilets, a workshop and full redecoration. She launched an ambassador scheme to encourage local figures to champion the Sea Cadets. She also worked with Hull City Council and the Maritime Museum to keep the unit in the public eye. She is highly deserving of a Lord Lieutenant's Award. Sergeant Major Instructor Michael Scafe, Humberside and South Yorkshire Army Cadet Force. Sergeant Major Scafe is responsible for the equipment and buildings of one of Humberside and South Yorkshire Army Cadet Force's largest companies, working meticulously to ensure cadets benefit from all possible opportunities. He also works full-time for the Reserve Forces and Cadets Association. Due to his efforts, the adult volunteers have all the facilities they need to deliver the full cadet experience to the cadets. He never looks for further reward or consideration, but delivers above and beyond all expectations, and is fully deserving of this award. Staff Sergeant Instructor Sarathorpe, Humberside and South Yorkshire Army Cadet Force. Staff Sergeant Thorpe has served with A Company, Humberside and South Yorkshire ACF, since 2011, rising to Platoon Commander, responsible for 4 detachments. She excels in every aspect of her work and is highly regarded by colleagues and cadets alike. In response to COVID-19, Staff Sergeant Thorpe has been one of the most proactive instructors within the county, producing a variety of online training, including virtual parades for her company. She was appointed County Virtual Training Administrator, a position that allows her to use her knowledge and imagination to develop virtual training for the whole county. This is something that would normally be the role of someone far above her rank. For the commitment and determination she shows, Staff Sergeant Thorpe is fully deserving of the Lord Lieutenant's Award. Flight Lieutenant Danielle Cooper, 152 City of Hull Squadron, Central and East Yorkshire Wing Air Training Corps. Flight Lieutenant Cooper is a former cadet who has developed into an outstanding officer. As a squadron commander of 152 Squadron, she led the squadron to be selected at the Wings nomination for the Lees Trophy for the best squadron nationwide. Flight Lieutenant Cooper not only supports cadets and staff across her 2 units, but takes on additional roles such as the Wing Radio Officer, supporting the Wing shooting team, helping organise the Wing annual field camp, and supporting an ongoing exchange programme with the New Hampshire Wing of the US Civil Air Patrol. She is an outstanding ambassador for the Air Cadets in the region and is a deserving candidate for Her Majesty's Lord Lieutenant's Award. Warrant Officer Sharon Reynolds, 152 City of Hull Squadron, Central and East Yorkshire Wing Air Training Corps. Warrant Officer Reynolds has been a member of the Air Cadets since 2009 and has held a uniform position at 152 Squadron for the last 10 years. During her time with the unit, she has undertaken a number of roles, including First Aid Instructor, Duke of Edinburgh's Award Officer, training officer and second in command. She attends at least one annual camp every year, road marching events and shooting activities, in addition to the squadron run training days, adventure training activities and fundraisers. At each of these activities, she has given her everything and has made a valuable contribution to each and every one. Above all, Warrant Officer Reynolds is an extremely professional individual who has given her heart and soul to both the squadron and the wider corps. She has the never-ending respect of the cadets and staff and fully deserves the Lord Lieutenant's Award. And now we turn to our cadet recipients, who are Leading Cadet Sapphire Witham, TS Iron Duke, Eastern Area Sea Cadets; Cadet Sergeant Morgan Bullman, East Hull Detachment, Humberside and South Yorkshire Army Cadet Force; and Cadet Warrant Officer Rosie Gregson, 252 Bridlington Squadron, Central and East Yorkshire Wing Air Training Corps.
I'm Leading Cadet Scafe Whittam from TS Iron Duke, Hull Unit. Both my brother and sister joined cadets at the age of 10 and stayed until aging out at 18. So on my 10th birthday, I made my parents take me to join, because just seeing what they did throughout their time at cadets, I just knew it's what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to be a part of the physical training branch before joining, after seeing my brother and sister do the hornpipe and club swinging. So I have gone on my courses to gain qualifications, and I'm currently walking towards my PT2. I enjoyed going to cadets and seeing the friends I've made in my unit and the friends I've made all around the area. I also enjoy teaching the cadets something I was once sat learning about, and I also enjoy talking to them about my time in cadets and what I have learned and achieved. Throughout the years, and seeing the excitement when they come back from courses and hearing about their time reminded me of what I've done. Cadets has given me the confidence to meet new friends, to teach lessons, and to try new things and push myself further. Cadets has also given me the opportunity to do things I never thought I'd do, such as living on a ship for a week and learning what they do and how they live. I've also met the Queen and spoke to the Queen. I have achieved so many qualifications throughout cadets that might help me in my future, such as my first aid and my marine engineering. In my future at cadets, I had courses and sea trips planned. Unfortunately, due to COVID, I haven't been able to attend them. But I hope with what time I have left, I hope to squeeze as much as I can in, that the cadets can eventually start running and I can attend my courses. I do hope in my future to come back as an adult volunteer to help the cadets with their time and learning, and to also teach them about the stuff I was once so excited to learn. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Cadet Sergeant Morgan Bullman of Acoy East Hull Detachment. On the first night out of my detachment, I walked in as an extremely shy person with no idea what to expect. I didn't know anyone there, but from that moment on, I haven't looked back. I've always wanted to be an Army cadet from the moment I stood and witnessed my first Remembrance Parade in Hull when I was a lot younger. My time as a cadet has seen me go from strength to strength. My confidence has grown, and without cadets I would not have met many of my closest friends today. I have had many amazing experiences, such as visiting France to celebrate 100 years of the ending of World War I. It was an overwhelming experience, which is why it is one of the highlights of my cadet career so far. Remembrance Parade has always been my favourite time of the year. We love to always make sure our family members are all a part of what we do. And you can see myself and many other cadets giving back to our community and giving the residents of Salthouse Haven a parade to show our respects and thankfulness to those who fought for our country. Not long after this, lockdown came into place, meaning the residents of Salthouse Haven weren't able to see their families. And so we thought, as a detachment, it would be a good idea to write to them and show them that they have people thinking of them in such difficult times. My next summer camp was Strensall in York. We had to build our own fires and shelters and keep them going throughout the night, just like you would on Stag in Fieldcraft. On the camp itself, I stayed in the same accommodation block as my uncle, who stayed there when he began his army career. I feel extremely proud to call him my uncle and be a part of a family that has members which served in the armed forces. He's always supported me throughout my cadet career and has always stimulated me to do better. By the end of my cadet career, I'm hoping to have achieved Master Cadet and made it to RSM. I've always set myself high standards and pushed myself to be the best version I could be. However, once I've left cadets, I want to be at university beginning my training to become an NHS worker, and hopefully once my career is set off, I'll come back to the ACF and become an adult instructor. Thank you.
Cadet Warrant Officer Rosie Gregson from 252 Bridlington Squadron, and I've been in the Air Cadets for 6 years. So I decided to join the Air Cadets because my dad was in the RAF for 9 years, from 1898 to 1996 as a communication system analyst. My big sister was already in the cadets, so I decided to follow her, and I decided to bring my twin sister along with me. I was interested in the drumming, and my squadron's got a drum corps, so I decided to join that as soon as I started. And 8 months later, I was leading the Lions Carnival event with the band. I also decided to join because I needed to increase my confidence because I was quite shy when I joined. And I was in the Scouts, so I decided that I needed more of a challenge. During the cadets, I've performed at events such as Birmingham Tattoo, Dream Flight, DNC for the last 3 years, and all of these have given me an overwhelming sense of pride. I've also enjoyed flying, and the first time I went, I was quite scared, but I wanted to do it more and more. And I've also done my bronze DAV, and I'll also want to do my silver and my gold when there's an expedition ready for me. So in my time at cadets, I've gained lots of new friends from right across England and Scotland during all the national camps I've been on. It's also helped me increase my confidence so much that I'd been able to do a 2-hour radio show across the whole of Yorkshire. I've been taught new things such as first aid and leadership skills, and I've also gained a qualification in BTEC Level 2 Diploma in Aviation Studies through my classifications. And I've also been able to go to places such as the Trooping of the Colour, Birmingham Tattoo, RAF Cranwell, International Bomber Command Centre and Dream Flight. So when I leave cadets, I want to stay on as an adult and maybe go into uniform. And I'm a practitioner in a nursery looking after babies, and in the future I'd like to work in a special school, so the skills I've learned from cadets can help me with this. Thank you.
Thank you, cadets. And now I'd like to hand you over to Her Majesty's Lord Lieutenant for the East Riding of Yorkshire, Mr. Jim Dick.
Thank you, Colonel Fuller. Hello, and thank you so much for taking the time to join us for this unique experience. Normally, we would have the opportunity to meet in person, and I regret that this has not been possible this year, which has been frustrating for us all at times, but necessary. It is, however, important that we mark this special occasion and, more significantly, everyone's achievements. These awards are an important way of celebrating and recognising the positive contribution and commitment of our reservists, adult volunteers and cadets within the East Riding of Yorkshire and the city of Kingston-upon-Hull. Those who have been honoured exemplify the benefits that service in the reserves, cadet organisations and armed forces can bring by equipping individuals with skills and experience that are useful in all walks of life. Every award winner has made a real difference to their units, their communities, and have made an impression in service. As reservists and adult volunteers, you have shown time and again your dedication and professionalism and the important contribution you make to our society across the county through your valuable service. I'd now like to congratulate leading Cadet Safar Witham, Cadet Sergeant Morgan Bullman and Cadet Warrant Officer Rosie Gregson on being appointed Lord Lieutenants Cadets. I think you'll all agree that each gave splendid presentations and they were all just first class. Being part of one of the oldest and greatest youth movements in the country provides a huge positive experience, and I see the benefits all the time and the opportunities that it gives to all our cadets. Being appointed as a Lord Lieutenant's Cadet is a great example of what the cadet movement is about, and a superb example of the positive impact it can have on our young people. Each of you have character traits that have made you the achievers you are today. You've exhibited qualities that are so important in life, such as drive, enthusiasm, natural leadership, organisation abilities, and importantly, a keenness to participate in any opportunities that are open to you. And that's in addition to taking an active part in your local community. To have the accolade as a Lord Lieutenant's Cadet is something that I trust you'll take great pride in. It's worth remembering, however, that none of the achievements would be possible without the commitment and dedication of the Cadet Force adult volunteers, who give so much of their time to help you and all the other cadets in the county. It's also important to recognise the support of families and employers. Each cadet, and indeed the adult volunteers, could not achieve what they do without the help and encouragement they receive from their family. And in addition, reserve soldiers and adult volunteers need the support of their civilian employers if they are to be able to gain the most from their reserve service. And in particular, those employers who've signed up to the Employer Recognition Scheme under the Armed Forces Covenant, they help reservists enormously. This support makes a real difference to our services and Cadet Force adult volunteers. It is truly invaluable, even more so during this pandemic, and I thank you all. So I'd like to thank and recognise the remarkable work and contribution of the staff of the reserve units and the Cadet Force adult volunteers who enable and encourage the achievements of our reservists and cadets. And finally, we must thank the 150 Regiment Royal Logistics Corps here at Middleton Barracks in Hull for hosting the awards this year. Good luck to you all for the future, and I look forward to talking to you all shortly. Thank you.